Right, okay, we're going to cook this meal. You might remember that I've actually done one before. And what I'll do is I'll put them all into a certain page on the YouTube channel, so you can go back to them when you want to. But this is Marks & Spencer's Gastro range. I love to use the Ninja wood fire outside when the weather's nice, and we have the Ninja Foodie Max Health Grill inside. Does everything this does, but just doesn't smoke. But I love it. Only if you want to know a bit more about the Ninja wood fire, there's a great book here, The Wood Fire Way, and that's on Amazon. But cracking book. Right, it says on here, we're going to, my voice is a bit gruff today. Oven, 20 minutes. And that's fan assisted at 200C, gas mark 7, or electric at 220C. Now there's not much difference, a few minutes difference in cooking method for the Gastro chips, the triple cooked chips. We're going to cook both lots on here. So we're going to start the wood fire. I'm going to put it on bake. Now I could add smoke to it as well. How interesting would that be? But we're not going to do that with this. And I want it at 200C, and we're going to put it on for 20 minutes. It says 20 minutes. The chips are a couple of minutes more, but we're going to cook the chips at the same pace as the fish and see how we get on. Goes into a preheat now where it warms up the inside of the wood fire. Then we'll put these on when it tells us to, and close the lid and let it carry on.
So here's to the chippies, let's keep them alive. A heritage feast, we need to survive. From batter to chips, I'm here to explore. Oh, nah, 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 I'm the Chippy Tour.
Well, that turned out looking alright. Chips, close to being overdone. In fact, a couple of them were, and that was only for 20 minutes. Instead of a couple of minutes extra, which it was saying. They're actually really nice. Very fluffy inside. Now with the mushy peas, I changed them. What comes with these in that box, and I didn't realise, it's only in the small print, was a mint pea puree, it says, in little tubs. So I like a mushy pea. I like them looking like mushy peas. Don't mind a bit of mint in them, but they're good mushy peas. Marks & Spencer's mushy pea. Another one of these chips. Go. Chips are great. Peas are really nice. Let's cut this in half. It's a nice looking bit of fish in there. That is quite heavy. Yeah, it's a bit but it tastes really nice, but it's just a bit thick, just a bit wet on the inside. Crispy on the outside, break open a bit more. The heaviness of it, and I've got a feeling that that will come out when we do the calories in a minute. Bit doughy. Yeah, I much prefer chip shop, fish and chips. I think the more I'm eating it, the less I'm liking it. No, that's really got to me all of a sudden. But the chips are okay. No, I don't even want the rest of that. That's not settled on me very well at all. I don't know what went wrong there, but halfway through, I was done. Because we went for the Gastro meal deal, got these included. But it's there. Cheesecake, plastic vanilla cheesecake.
Right, so that didn't go down too well. The fish, and I still don't feel right from it. I'm not saying it's bad, because I don't think that at all. I just don't think it agreed with me. And it may agree with you, and that's fine. And if it didn't agree with everyone, they wouldn't be selling it, would they? So it's obviously got a lot going for it. Now, chips were great. Mushy peas were great, and that was the separate portion of mushy peas. Now what I've done is, and of course the cheesecake was absolutely lovely. It really was. Which isn't included in this, and neither is in this calculation, and neither is the mushy peas I'd actually eaten. It's all calculated on the peas mint pea puree in the 2 little packets that came with it, and the fish, and the triple cooked chips, because that's basically what you would be buying, unless you went for a meal deal. And the meal deal, actually, let's have a look at some of the stats here. Now, we'd actually purchased the triple cooked chips, the fish and pea puree for 2, and the triple cooked chips for 2, and the extra portion of mushy peas, and we also got the cheesecake thrown in too. So when you look at that whole deal, what we purchased was £9.25. So that was okay. If it would have been okay for me for just the 2 fish and the pea puree and the triple cooked chips, if you was to buy them on their own, well, that would be £7.50 per person. The M&S Gastropub here, £7.50. We went for that meal deal and the extra mushy peas, and that cost us £9.25. You certainly get a lot more chips when you go to the chip shop than you do in that gastro meal. But it depends how much you want to eat, I guess. So let's break all this down. Calories in the Gastropub, 966. Chip shop, around 800. Fat, 52.9 grams in the Gastropub, 36 grams in the chip shop. Carbs, Gastropub, 84.3. Chip shop, 78. Protein, 34.5 in the Gastropub grams and 35 grams in the chip shop. There's not a lot in that there, and again, these are averages. Sodium, 4.1 grams in the Gastropub and 1.1 gram in the chip shop. Now, you also have to bear in mind that there's a lot more in the way of preservatives, additives, and not so many good things in the Gastropub. A lot more than there is in the fish and chip shop. It's very much a trace thing with the chip shop, depending on how they create their batter, really, and what's in the oils, just traces compared to what's in the M&S Gastropub. So you have to bear that in mind as well. So for me, still nothing beats the chip shop. I understand why, people want that convenience of grabbing something out of the freezer. But if you do want the fish and chip shop experience, you have to go to a fish and chip shop. But the choice is yours. Like I say, I did enjoy the cheesecake, but that was part of a meal deal. The chips were okay. The mushy peas, the separate mushy peas, were okay. They were nice, actually, I thought. And I very rarely fail to get a decent fish, chips and peas from a chippy. So there you go. See you on the next one.